I have some absolutely fantastic news to report for you guys today out of the state of Florida. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government, Article 1, Section 4, Clause 1 of the Constitution, and today, in the state of Florida, the Republic stands. Our rights have been guaranteed and they have been protected. As it was stated in the Federalist Papers, Federalist number 10. Hence it is that such democracies, meaning full democracies, not republics, have ever been spectacles of turbulence and contention, have ever been found incompatible with personal security or the rights of property, and have, in general, been as short in their lives as they have been violent in their deaths. James Madison, Federalist number 10. Now, what am I talking about, state of Florida? If there is any silver lining that can be taken away from the events of 2020 and early 2021, it is this. We have confirmed that America is not America. We are 50 states in a republic. And there's plenty of evidence now that not all states are created equal. Some states are doing things far more constitutionally than other states. And that is great news. Now, here's even better news. Executive order from the desk of the governor banning vaccine passport use at businesses. Now, the beginning of this executive order, which I have here in the middle, begins with a lot of whereases, basically stating the conditions under which this executive order was created. We'll start down here with this one. Whereas Florida seeks to ensure that every Floridian who desires a COVID-19 vaccine can obtain one, but such vaccines will not be mandated, and whereas no COVID-19 vaccine is required by law, and whereas individual COVID-19 vaccination records are private health information which should not be shared by mandate, and whereas so-called COVID-19 vaccine passports reduce individual freedom and will harm patient privacy, and whereas requiring so-called COVID-19 vaccine passports for taking part in everyday life, such as attending a sporting event, patronizing a restaurant, or going to a movie theater, would create two classes of citizens based on vaccination, and whereas it is necessary to protect the fundamental rights and privacies of Floridians and the free flow of commerce within the states, now therefore I, Ron DeSantis, as governor of Florida, by virtue of the authority vested in me by Article 4, Section 1 of the Florida Constitution and by the Florida Emergency Management Act, as amended, and all other applicable laws, promulgate the following executive order. Section 1. No Florida government entity or its subdivisions, agents, or assigns shall be permitted to issue vaccine passports, vaccine passes, or other standardized documentation for the purpose of certifying an individual's COVID-19 vaccination status to a third party, or otherwise publish or share any individual's COVID-19 vaccination record or similar health information. Section 2. Businesses in Florida are prohibited from requiring patrons or customers to provide any documentation certifying COVID-19 vaccination or post-transmission recovery to gain access to or entry upon or service from the business. Section 3. All executive agencies under my direction shall work to ensure businesses comply with this order. Any provision of Florida statutes is hereby suspended solely to the extent it restricts a Florida agency from requiring compliance with this order as a condition for a license, permit, or other state authorization necessary for conducting business in Florida. Section 4. All businesses must comply with this order to be eligible for grants or contracts funded through state revenue. Section 5. The requirements in this order do not otherwise restrict businesses from instituting COVID-19 screening protocols in accordance with state and federal law to protect public health, and nothing herein shall be construed to interfere with individuals' rights to access their own personal health information under federal law. Section 6. This order is effective immediately and shall remain in effect for the duration of Executive Order 20-52 as extended in testimony whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the Great Seal of the State of Florida to be affixed at Tallahassee this 2nd day of April, 2021. Governor Ron DeSantis, Laurel M. Lee, Secretary of State. This is how it's done. The federal government is the man behind the curtain. It is the best analogy I can give from The Wizard of Oz. They are a little tiny man behind a little hidden curtain, pulling a bunch of levers and punching a bunch of buttons and making you believe, with the help of the mainstream media, that they are some all-powerful, all-seeing, super deep state that controls it. It's horse crap. The state of Florida is revealing the man behind the curtain. The power in this country is vested in the states. If it was not, what was the point of even having a governor? Why do we have each state our own Senate, our own houses, individual state senates, state houses of representatives, state Supreme Courts? We have our own individual security forces, state polices, county polices. We have our own militaries, National Guards. Each state in this union has a constitutional protection and duty to operate sovereignly. And that is what the state of Florida is doing right now. The federal government has overreached. And people still forget that there is a legacy of the last administration that leaves the Supreme Court of the United States in the hands of conservatives. Not that it'll ever come to that, because there is no constitutional provision that allows them to override any decision made inside the state of Florida that affects only the people of the state of Florida. There's nothing they can do to impose federal will on us, legally, or de facto. They might pass de jure this, in law that, but on the ground, in reality, no way it ever has any teeth. I understand people's fear of the federal government because what they've been known to do. But a lot of the things that they have done secretly with the collusion of certain state officials. That is ending. The weak executive we have right now, occupying the West Wing, is the best news ever. If your state isn't doing things constitutionally or properly, leave. Take your money with you. This is how we win. I know it's not easy. I know it's not fun. I'm not originally from the state of Florida. My mother was born here. Her mother was born in Georgia. Her father was born in Mississippi. It's a choice. And sometimes the choices, short-term are hard, but long-term are the best, especially for your children. Especially for our posterity. The Constitution guarantees every state in this union a Republican form of government, period. And there is nothing that can be done to change this. If there's an issue in your state, it lies with your governor. And this is why the mainstream media, with their allies in social media, are doing everything they can to suppress our governor and suppress what's going on in the state of Florida. But they have a problem. And that problem has dollar signs on the end of it. And they can't avoid this for very much longer. Minnesota, Illinois, Michigan, Pennsylvania, the pain has just begun. The financial havoc we're going to wreak on your states until you relent and get rid of your tyrannical leaders is not going to end anytime soon. If it were up to me, there wouldn't be a Michigan apple or cherry within the border state of Florida. There would be no Wisconsin dairy. There would be nothing from Pennsylvania or Minnesota. Their governors would be banned from travel to our states. And that's just the way it should be. And that's how we win. It's not pretty, but it is what it is. We are this. We are not this. DC would love us to be this. It would love history to say that North America is just 3 big places, Canada, America, and Mexico. But it ain't. And that's just the reality. If you don't think so, go visit California. I have friends that live out there. There's YouTubers that I'm friends with that even talk about this. If they had their way, they'd pick up tomorrow and move to Florida. But reality being what it is. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.